How many are left? Like 2?
I don't know.
Is that it?
Says there's 8.
Okay, so yeah, 2.
There you go.
I was right.
And that means you won.
Yes.
According to nerddom.
I am correct, therefore I win.
You
won
are the
the
champion of the
conversation?
day. Here's the nerddom belt.
What is my
You
prize?
don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't know, but like
your
you do
prize
get a
is the
belt.
ability to push your glasses up and tell everyone you were correct.
That's right.
There are 8 episodes in Invincible.
Nailed it. That is so great.
Welcome to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and that is Dylan, and today we're not talking about Marvel or DC. It's time to talk about Invincible, Episode 6.
How
Yeah.
much would Skybound pay us to change the channel name to Absolutely Marvel, DC, and Skybound?
And also Skybound.
And also Skybound.
Hit us up. Maybe
Right?
we'll do it.
I'll do it.
So I want to start this episode by clarifying a couple of things with you guys here in the comments. I said I was going to. Sal's aware of it. First off, I comment that Andy likes Invincible. Andy will never be on this show or anything on this channel. Andy does his bare minimum to do his job.
I'm pretty sure you had to really fight for him to be on like just comics experiment.
I had
and
to trick him.
D&D. Yeah.
You do know I tricked him to be on that show, right?
I remember that when the first time he was on, he was like, yeah, I just showed up and Benny was like, we're filming, sit down.
Right.
I told him to sit down and put a mic on him, and he was like, what's happening?
Go.
And now that you've been on one, you are. It's canon that
in.
you're a host of the show. End of
Yeah,
story.
exactly. So he is never going to be on this show. Secondly, if you're watching us review a show, and we're on episode 5, and the first 4 of them have been me and Sal complaining, it's not a spoiler that we're going to complain, okay?
Right. Also,
Even though we said we're looking for the positive, don't watch the review and go, why are you guys complaining? Because we did the first 5 times.
I will also point out, speaking of like complaining about stuff, the book's been over for how many years? Like,
I was like, and that's the
Many.
last thing I want to state.
Like 5?
Sal and I have read comics forever,
Oh, no.
and there's like 150 issues, and that thing ended like 2-3 years ago. It's a little shy of 150. Regardless of us trying to not spoil what happens in the comics, things are going to slip out.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things I wanted to open up today's review episode with. Be aware of the fact, Sal and I are not the biggest fans of the Amazon Prime show, neither is Dylan, but, you know... we've read a certain amount of Invincible comics, and Andy's never going to join us, even though I'm getting tips to throw into these reviews for you guys.
Right.
If you're all okay with that, and you've watched this every single week, and you want to see our opinions on this week's episode, welcome to our Invincible episode 6 analysis and discussion.
That's right.
And lastly, if you don't like the episodes, just don't watch them. I'm still going to make them. I don't care.
Yeah.
This channel is literally so we can talk about things. Like
Yeah,
after
That's where I'm at, because I haven't been reading the comments, so... Like,
it's
as far
been
as
great.
I know, everyone's like, yeah, this show sucks. You guys are right.
it's like 50-50 in the comments.
And to be like, I want to be clear because apparently I need to be.
We
I
need
don't
to
think
be
the show
with
is
this review
horrible.
only, apparently.
The show's not awful. It's just, you know, I think there are good points about it and there are bad points, and currently the bad points are outweighing the good. So
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
the
agree with
comic
that.
is always going to be better. Like, just...
Yeah. So I wanted to open up. I know somebody's gonna click. It's been like, why are they? Because the last 5 episodes, everyone has said that it's not gonna change, guys. So Invincible episode 6, I liked most of this. Actually, I didn't remember this one with the comics. Andy wanted me to specify that it is in the comics, so I don't
Definitely.
make that mistake. Did you catch the Rickett? So I'll give you the recap like I do in all these analysis. Invincible's trying to convince his girlfriend that he's there to be committed, and then their college gets attacked by the villain. The villain turns people into androids. The androids fight the college. Invincible has to fight against that. His buddy discovers that he's actually Mark, and the girlfriend breaks it off with him.
Yeah.
I liked this episode a lot, actually. I thought the fact that it felt so separate from the overall plot and just felt like Invincible doing his thing, I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed the Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty in the intro.
Okay, that was him.
It was
Yeah, that was
definitely
him. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I stopped paying attention when the credits were rolling. I meant to check because it sounded like him.
There's only like 3 voice actors in Rick and Morty, and he's one of them. He plays 17 characters.
He plays like everyone.
As soon as I heard that voice, I'm like, no. And I Googled it. I'm like, did Justin Roiland make a cameo? And he did. That was his role. And then they ripped his vocal cords out, which I thought was also hilarious.
Agreed.
Somebody had to shut him up.
He even got to burp, which was fun.
Yeah, that's when I was like, wait a minute, is this Justin Roiland? He burped. He's just being Justin Roiland.
He's just being Rick if Rick was in college. That's what he's doing right now.
Hey, what's
I'm
going
sure
on?
he did not have a script. They were like, just make sure your name is Doug Cheston and then just talk.
Right?
We'll animate around it.
Yep. Well, it's like John Mulaney in Spider-Verse. Just do whatever you want, John.
Yeah.
You're the new hotness.
We know you're funny. Go.
Yeah. But it's funny that it actually lines up with our complaints where the animation is taking a hit for another A-list actor. Because I almost guarantee, I mean, he's a well-paid actor, the voice actor at this point. So unless he showed up just as a fun, hey, I want to be Invincible kind of moment, like that's the budget still had to go to him.
It's tough because Roiland is he's like a video game geek, so like he'll be in like you'll see him at like PAX and stuff, and he's just like, I just like video games, burp. And like maybe he digs Invincible.
Do you think he talks like that like normal? How's it going, burp? I'm on my way, burp.
I mean,
yeah, Mom, I'll be there for Thanksgiving, burp.
Yeah, I mean, when he's drinking, yeah, definitely.
So the episode itself I thought was good. I do like what happened with the mom. I felt like it was a very minor point in this episode, but it was so impactful where she finally admitted it, like what's going on, and going to the costume designer. Yeah. I felt like we needed more time with that because it felt like it was such a little, like a minor note on the episode that I was kind of like, that was kind of important.
Yeah. No, for me,
I was surprised they didn't drag it out more of her, like, just playing dead to him and not confronting him about it. I'm surprised that it happened as soon as it did.
Yeah. I guess they're just setting it up for the next episode because it's, I mean, the proverbial like crap is hitting the fan as far as their life, and she's been lying to herself with at least the last 2 episodes as far as like the truth is concerned, and now she's finally confronted him about it. Based on how they've been portraying Nolan, I'm kind of like, I'm surprised that she went for it like she did, where it's like, he might kill you,
Yeah.
Like it's pretty ballsy, and which I thought was really like a testament to Debbie's character, and I was like, that's great, like good, keep it up, like that was a cool moment, and I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, I think because we talked a lot about how like the shoe dropping in the comic is when Nolan fights Mark. And I think, I don't remember how it happens in the comic, what the impetus behind it is.
He just calls it out. Like
he just that's kind of what I remember.
He's like, I killed them, and you gotta fall in line because they're coming.
Yeah. I think based on how this show is going, I imagine Nolan's gonna try to kill Mark's mom. Mark's gonna see that, and that's how the fight's gonna happen.
She's like, I can't do this anymore. Maybe the next episode, she's like, I'm gonna go tell him. I'm done with this. Nolan, I'm going, and that's going to be the turning point that makes Mark turn on his dad.
Yeah,
because they've really elevated her role in this show, so I wouldn't be surprised if like that's the
and the costume designer. I was kind of surprised by him.
Yeah, he doesn't get. I
loved that subtle threat, like. So we're on the same page, and he with a thumb pops the bottle on.
That was cool.
This is what your head could be. Yeah, good stuff. I don't know. I don't think he's going to try and kill her. I think it's more that. It's gonna goad Nolan into being like, I gotta accelerate my timetable. Like, if the Viltrumites are here and we take over Earth, she's really not gonna have much to say about it after that. Right. So I need to move things along. Like, Mark, all that's over. I set up the whole thing with you getting your ass kicked by by the bad guys in the last episode.
He didn't fare too well in this episode against the cyborgs. Are they weakening him as time goes on?
If I had one complaint about it, Mark gets his ass kicked
like
every episode. He's just getting his butt kicked, and I'm like, that is so not the comic. But at the same time, like it is its own thing. We need it so that when he fights Nolan, it's like we're really concerned. Because we know
it must be that,
he keeps getting his butt kicked like constantly.
I mean, I will say at this point, if they've set themselves up to have us be concerned about him fighting Nolan. If they fight and Mark doesn't die,
Right.
then I'm like, that's it. Like, this show,
Because he should.
completely missed
Like,
the mark.
Yeah.
If some low rate like cyborg built by a college student jackass can almost kill Mark, and he only got away because the cyborg killed himself, like, how is he gonna fight his dad and win?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's not so much. I don't necessarily see the battle with Mark and Nolan to be. It's going to be physical and it's going to be bloody and it's going to be epic, but I think it's more also going to be like a spiritual fight, because like Nolan doesn't just get his butt kicked by Mark. That's not how it ends, and I won't ruin it because apparently I do that all the time. So I'll just say like there's a moral victory there, and
I also feel like they're setting it up so that Nolan's going to hold back. Like it's going to be more obvious he's holding back for his son.
I think they've clearly kind of, like, in this show they've obviously they've humanized both of the parents in certain ways, where they've brought Nolan a little more down to earth, and they've brought Debbie's her name, right?
Yep.
They've brought her like a little back away from just like nothingness,
From being just an inward closed person who doesn't respond to the world around her. Yeah.
Right.
No, she's very much. In fact, she's actually kind of like getting more becoming that character because of
over time, for sure.
Because of losing Nolan to madness and stuff. Like, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm okay with all that.
I will say the other thing that came out with this episode, and I know I don't care about this at all. Like, I really don't want. I want this to end, but the girlfriend thing. What's her name again? The one that
Amber.
Amber.
So I get entirely what they're doing. I 100% do. This isn't these guys don't get it. They're trying to do that classic Spider-Man Mary Jane thing, and they really want that to... Because when we were all kids, we all watched Spider-Man the animated series, and that was always the thing with Mary Jane. Peter, I don't trust you! And he's got to go save somebody, and then that was like 3 seasons of that show.
Well, that's every comic book, you know?
Well,
it's
it's every comic book, so I know what they're going for, but the fact that it is every comic book, and it is from old shows, I'm just kind of like, can we just end this? I don't care about Amber.
Same. I'm tired of it.
Stop trying to prove yourself to Amber. Go get with Adam Eve. We know that's what's going to happen.
We know that's where you're going.
She's still in the show. We know that's where it's heading.
For me, like, part of reading Invincible was just like, when is he going to be with Adam?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
and that journey is interesting, but his relationship with Amber has never been.
And it still isn't. And I think that's why whenever he's like, oh man, I made Amber mad because I took off, or Mark, you ran off to tell the police you're a coward. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, it's just so tropey. Just
let
get
it go.
rid of Amber. And even if we don't move in the direction of Atom Eve right now, like, let's set it up so it can happen and let Mark just learn to be a superhero and fight things. I get what they're doing.
Yes.
Like, it's just like in Falcon Winter Soldier, I complain about the Carly plot. I don't care about Amber. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when I'm enjoying Invincible, I don't care about the Amber plot.
She is giving him more motivation than he would find elsewhere. Like, she's helping him grow as a person as far as the character's concerned, but the drama and her, like, the repetition of this is wearing... It has worn thin. It's already... I'm not interested. Like, I'm just I'm checked out.
I know Amber's in the comics, and I know his relationships and everything. That's a comic thing. I get all that.
Yeah, but like,
the show
who
has done
cares
such a
about
good
Amber?
job of... The show has done such a good job of expanding this universe in a direction that I am caring about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, Amber is just a constant cycle. Like,
yeah, I know.
She trusts Mark. Mark runs off. Now and I get it's a superhero trope. Just move on. We can move on. I mean,
And it's only happened like 2 or 3 times, so like I appreciate that the third time she's like, it's over. And I'm like, cool, but like then be bold in your storytelling and have her be like, it's over, and not be like sad and like wish he would come into her room and like tell her how he feels, and like not be wishy-washy with the next guy that she's gonna hook up with. Like just have her be like, yo, we're in high school and you're unreliable, so it's over. End of story. Like, just be that bold as far as your storytelling is concerned. By the way, there's a moment in this episode where I'm like, you could have animated flying if you didn't cast Ezra Miller as the college kid.
Was that who that was?
That was who that was. I'm like, who is that voice? It's very familiar.
Someone
it's
said
Ezra
it
Miller.
in our chat.
Didn't he get canceled?
What is it with all these friggin' actors? Like, what is it with every?
What's going on?
Like, Zazie Beetz plays Amber. I'm like, what? These are all real actors in like movies and stuff. You're casting people who are supposed to be on screen and they're doing their voices. There's 1,000 out of work voice actors who would do,
and they're just cameos too.
Yeah.
Like, this villain's not going to be the new villain we fight all the time.
No, but Spock is robot constantly. Now, that being said,
Like,
they're
I
not making
get-
many Star Trek movies anymore.
Sure. I get why you cast like big names for your leads.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that they keep casting the people this big for minor characters or just roles that aren't around as much is just like it raises so many issues just between like a misuse of your budget when your animation is so clearly lacking.
Right.
And like Benny, like you mentioned, there's so many like smaller actors, voice actors who need
Oh, that
work.
was Sal, but yes. Yeah.
And I thought you said that.
We all agree.
Yeah, we
You're the
do
same
agree.
people in my mind.
And if you really want to blow your budget, just get Justin Roiland to be all the voices, and we'll just be like, it's Rick and Morty on Invincible, whatever.
Right? It's just, yeah. I mean, I'm, and by the way, like, J.K. Simmons, like, he still does State Farm commercials or Farmers commercials, so it's like, he probably doesn't cost as much as everybody else. Who knows? Like, maybe he's just cool. I don't know.
I would love if he was just cool. He's one of my favorite actors, so I'm glad that he's in this show.
Me
but,
too.
like,
he's great, but like,
you cut a check for that guy,
right? But like,
then your
Walton
scenes are gonna
Goggins,
look like shit.
Walton Goggins probably took the all of his lines are probably recorded in the one time he was in the booth, right? Like, he did not come back. Right? He recorded all of his lines for the whole season in one session.
I could see them calling him up, and like, it's like when Dylan or Kevin hit me up, and they'd be like, hey, we need you to redo a line, and I'm like, can we cut the line?
Right. Can we cut it? I mean,
I don't really want to go down there and re-record. Can we cut?
Yeah. And I don't, by the way, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like Walton Goggins as Cecil, because I think he's doing a great job. Like, he's one of my favorite voices in the show.
Oh yeah, he's so good at it.
But he doesn't need to be Walton Goggins.
Right.
It's just like,
that's kind of the everyone in this show is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But you don't need this amount of you don't need this star-studded cast for the show that has animation that looks the way that it does. It's
like this was going to be the film.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're not making the movie anymore. We're going to make the cartoon show, and let's just use the same actors. Because everyone here could have played those characters.
Yeah, 100%.
Except for the fact that Stephen Ewan and Gillian Jacobs are not in high school.
Right.
That's the
It's the only real problem you'd run
That
into.
doesn't matter in this day and age, though. You just de-age them with a CGI.
You got to give them some of that Marvel money and de-age them.
So overall, I liked this episode. I'm excited to see where it's going to be going. I felt we really could use an episode that just felt disconnected. Maybe that was part of some of the issues I had early on, where it's like Mark's doing random things, but the bigger plot is like half the episode. What are we doing here? Like, this episode just felt like Mark doing something.
Yeah, which is good, especially
Yeah.
because it was ripped directly from the comics. Mark visiting college was a thing, and Cyborg's attack, it was a thing, and it.
Oh yeah,
and
let's
it
talk
was
real quick about the Monster Girl too. The Monster
yeah.
Girl angle they did. Where
I don't even know what the hell's happening with Robot wanting to be with Monster Girl. It's
Yeah, is that a
really
thing?
weird. It's not.
Well, I googled it, and I did Google this, and if you don't want any spoiler, it doesn't look like it's
Right.
going in this direction. Robot Man does like help her,
Right.
but they're playing it up to be more of a relationship here instead of just helping her. Because
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
wondering that too. You know, like, they made a really clear point of like, Rex, don't get with the girl that looks like she's 12. Like,
Right.
yeah.
But he's a robot.
yeah, but the robot's
Who
okay.
Yeah, but it's okay if it's a robot.
It's still weird.
It's very weird. But it's cool. Like, that's actually something where I'm like, oh, what's the deal with Robot and Monster
Yeah,
Girl?
it's
Yeah.
interesting. Why not?
I
I
want
liked
to know.
his drone too, because when he first showed up all beaten up, I'm like, hold on, what did I miss? Like,
Yeah, that was cool. I liked that moment a lot, where he
Yeah.
showed up and they were like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then he just walked in. and was like, "Oh, that was a drone." Like, "Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool. That was a fun moment."
That was a great moment. Yeah, that was good.
because I really
Good stuff.
thought like I blinked and like missed a scene of him getting his butt
Yeah.
kicked or something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I loved it.
So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's discussion, analysis, and complaining event of today. I'm just going to call it that, of Invincible Episode 6. If you agree with our point of views, let us know down below. If you disagree, go ahead and let us know down below. We're still going to have our point of views. That's the beautiful part about having an opinion on a show. You're watching to see what ours are. And if you don't agree with it and it really bothers you that much, don't watch. We have plenty of other things we're doing here, such as discussions on your favorite CW shows, Disney Plus shows, talking about the trailers, and just discussions in general of all this stuff happening. It's a lot of fun. We're enjoying this channel, and we really do hope you stick around, even if you disagree with us on Invincible. Either way, thank you so much. We are absolutely Marvel and DC, and we'll see you next time right here.